Here's what's going on today. We're exploring some of our lesser known lakes around the state. This one is in Union County. Lake Mauzy. Now, today we're doing a little experimentation. We heard the bass fishing was good up here, but I started noticing all these cicadas on top of the water, and I thought, man, I hope I've got my fly rod in the truck, and I did. We may start putting some water in the live well. I can get a mess of fish out of this. Now there's a good fish right there. He will go in the live well. These fish are still on nest here and there, and they're tearing at these cicadas. They're kind of a little big for some of these fish, so they just come up and rip at them and try to tear them apart. And that's kind of what they're doing to the popper. He'll eat 2 fillets, 1 on each side. Let me tell you what, nothing better. I like that. That was a good one. Another eater. And let's see how many we're getting. Oh, it's looking good in there. But we haven't been here very long and already got about half a mess. There's enough for me, but Nikki'd be mad if I came home without her some fish. So now I'm working on her half. Those were good fish that hit out there. I'm gonna have to back up from the bank a little bit. Yes, nice fish. One after another. If you watch the show a lot, you know it's one of my favorite things in the world. And I know there's some good bass in here, but while this is going on, I don't have any choice but to keep on catching them until they quit biting or I lose my popper, because this is too much fun. Now, fly fishing seems to be a huge challenge. A lot of people say, oh, I don't know if I could do that. My dad taught me when I was really, really young. I'm not even using my shoulder. All the action is right here in my wrist. It's not a hard thing to do, and at times it can be very, very effective. Catch anything from bluegill to bass. A lot of times when cicadas are on, you can catch big old carp when everything's focusing on that topwater bite. You talk about fun. Oh, there's a good bluegill. Good male. And the good thing about this is you don't have to keep putting crickets on or keep putting mealworms on. You can catch a lot of fish on the same bug. That's a nice bluegill right there. Use the same bait over and over, because this is the only one I brought today. If I can get a mess of fish out of this one bug, I'll be very happy. A lot of people think it just looks too hard and there's too much involved, and I think sometimes people try to make it seem like more than what it is, so you have to pay $2,500 and go to somewhere in a mountainous region and wear fancy clothes to figure out how to cast one of these things. But let me tell you what, some of the old guys that used to fish farm ponds with them in the 50s, it wasn't fancy schmancy fishing. It was one of the best tools they had to catch big fish, to catch good fish, just like that one right there. Basically lift that rod straight up, let that line go out behind you, and then roll it out. You don't whip it, you roll it out. That way you have a nice smooth presentation. That line rolls out over the water, and they think there's a bug, which for a fish is an easy meal. They don't have to expend much energy. You grab a hold of it and wait for the next one to hit the top of the water. Or, many times when bluegill are on the nest, they have the tendency to want to defend their nest, which anything that comes around near there, they whack at it. That's a good fish right there. That's an old good one right there. That's a real good one right there. He's pulling the front end of the boat around. Yeah, he'll eat. Nice male right there. Oh, he hit the fire out of it. It's fairly inexpensive. You can get into these outfits today cheap if you look around. Get you a light action 5 or 6 weight rod for this. You get a 6 weight rod, you can catch bass, you can catch bluegill, you can catch about anything. Good eating fish right there. And what I look for in a popper is just a light color. This one's kind of a chartreuse, any kind of bug color. It gets their attention. I like to have some little rubber band legs on it. If you like to tie them yourself, just make them look buggy, and they can't stand it. Hit that hole again. He's certainly defending beds. That's probably the nicest one of the day right there. That's a good bluegill. That is the nicest one of the day right there. He knocked the fire out of it. Now, Lake Mauzy, Union County, Higginson, Henry Wildlife Management Area. In that particular area, look it up. I give it a big thumbs up for bluegill. Now, they're not as big consistently as what you find out in the very western part of the state, in Barkley and Kentucky, but we got some good eating sized bluegill. We got enough for a mess. I was gonna bass fish, but my fish are in the live well. I don't want them to die. I want to get them on ice and get them home because that's what I'm having for dinner tonight. I've heard there's some good bass in here because the biologist told me there's lots of 20-inch bass plus. So come on out and give it a try. And we're gonna continue on the path trying to find some of our lesser known lakes around the state of Kentucky that are managed for you to get out and have a good time. We've been catching a lot of bluegill here lately, and you've seen a lot of it on the show. And we've done that because people are asking for panfish lakes. Where can I find a good panfish lake? I would recommend Mauzy for bluegill. And I'm gonna have bluegill for dinner.